call me Mystic Mike because I predict these things.
Yannis takes on Bashi this Saturday at UFC Fight Night. And this fight was put together about 2 days ago. Bashi was initially supposed to be fighting Francis Marshall, who had to pull out, so Yannis has stepped in on a few days' notice. He was training for a fight against Abdul Kamara on August 22nd, so he was in training camp, but obviously fighting about 3 weeks earlier against a new opponent in Bashi, who, a lot of potential in this kid. Was undefeated before his last fight against who was it? Christian Rodriguez. He was a pretty big favorite over Christian Rodriguez, but couldn't get his takedowns going. Christian Rodriguez, very crafty vet, very well-rounded, was able to kind of put an end to the hype train of Bashi. That was back in January, so hopping back in there. Taking on, he was supposed to take on Francis Marshall, who I think is very underrated. I thought that'd be a very good fight. I might have to pick against Bashi in that one, but him taking on Yannis on such short notice, already got the UFC experience. Much better grappler. I'm going to go with Bashi. Very high level grappler, jiu-jitsu black belt, very good wrestling, very powerful on the ground. Not the best striker in the world, but still has power on the feet. Kind of a ball muscle young dude, 23 years old. So going to be making rapid improvements everywhere, not even into his prime yet. Yannis, kind of a 50-50 fighter, 9-3 record, 31 years old. Going to be a little bit bigger at 5'8" versus Bashi's 5'6". He is coming off of a knockout over Nick Aguirre, who I think fought in the UFC a couple times, and then had a couple knockouts before that. But if you look at his record, Nick Aguirre, however you say his name, he was in the UFC, lost to Dana Argueta, lost to Peyton Talbot. So no shame in those losses. Those guys are pretty good, but all of his wins on the regional scene are kind of against bums. And look at Yannis, had a KO over a guy in CJ Jimenez, who was 4-4. Before that, a guy was 4-3, lost by submission to a guy who was 3-1. A lot of split decisions to some regional guys, some unanimous decisions against guys that are 0-1, 9-7. Lost a split decision to Cameron Smotherman back in the day. Like, a lot of split decisions. Does have a few KOs, but the KOs are against guys that just aren't the level of Bashi. I think Bashi, he's got the UFC experience, not going to have the jitters, fought the better guys, younger. I think he's more skilled, maybe not the better striker. I think Yannis, he's decent on the feet. He has knockout power, but he's not knocking out everybody. The guys that he are knocking out just aren't the best from what it looks like and go into a lot of the decisions. So I think Bashi going to be able to work his takedown games, work his pressure, and get the win over Yannis. I think that he can get the submission. I think he's the much better grappler. Yannis shown that he can be finished on the ground, rear naked choked by a guy on the regional scene about a year and a half ago. So I'm going to go with Bashi to get this one done by submission. Thanks.